Hello, it's Nick with Kleanpc, and today we're going to be doing a Linux distribution review for Bunsenlabs Linux Beryllium. Admittedly, Bunsenlabs is one of my favorite distributions. It's Debian-based, super light, and it's great for old hardware, so definitely one of my favorite distributions. I will try to be objective, though, and not let my bias seep into this review, but probably going to have some positive thoughts about it, just a little bit of a preview. So let's hop right into it. So Bunsenlabs Linux Beryllium, as we look at the desktop, we've got OpenBox as our window manager, which consists of the Tint 2 panel. Also consists of Conky over here on the right-hand side, which is stock. I haven't changed anything on that. And then it also includes the JG menu. So if we click down here, we can see our menu with all of our options. Now, one of the great things about Bunsenlabs Linux that I'm a big fan of is so much of the distribution can be worked through the right click of the mouse. So if we just right click, you can see we get pretty much that same menu over here, all very easy to access, which I personally really enjoy. Light distribution, up here if we take a look, we're currently using 793 megs out of our 8 gigs of RAM. Not using a ton of disk space after the install, a little under 5 gigs out of a 32 gig partition. One of the nice things about Conky shows you the shortcut keys here, right? So these combinations will open the various programs, which is really nice. One of the fun things about virtualization is you can't really access this because if I hit the super key, which is a Windows key, I'm running Linux underneath this, and it will open, like if I hit the super key, it'll open the menu on the distribution running on my desktop where I'm recording this. So one of the downsides to virtualizing, if you like running Linux virtualized, that's one of the things you got to kind of get used to. Just thought I would point it out. But absolutely love this wallpaper. They've done a great job. The developers over at the Bunsen Lab team done a really nice job. Go here, take a look at preferences, and if you want, you can go into wallpaper, and you can see they've included quite a few wallpapers, lots of different things. Again, I just use stock. I'm a really big fan of this. They've got some older wallpapers from previous releases, as well as some other ones in here. So pretty cool. They've done a nice job. Again, aesthetically, it's great. Really like the look and feel. Super light, very responsive. So as we go into the menu, we can go ahead and open up Terminal. And you can see in here, love the color combination. Very easy on the eyes. If we just do a quick ls-l, take a look at our files. Pretty standard there. Don't know if htop is installed by default, so we'll go ahead and give it a shot. And it is. So again, a little bit different reading in htop versus Conky, as you can see. Here in htop, it's saying we're only using 601 megs out of the 8 gigs that we have, and really not stressing the processor out at all. So again, one of the great things about Bunsenlabs Linux is it's excellent for old computers. So personally, I am a purveyor of old hardware. I hate getting rid of old hardware. I hate seeing old hardware going to the recycling center. Always a use for it, in my opinion, within reason. And Bunsenlabs Linux is one of those distributions that makes that possible. You can spin it up on an old dual-core machine with 4 gigs of RAM. Not going to be the best experience ever, but you'll certainly be able to browse the web, use the terminal, do some light document editing in Word or Excel, i.e. LibreOffice, the open source version, the free version, and it's going to run pretty well. And again, that's one of the strengths of Bunsenlabs Linux, that you can run it on old machines. Big fan of using it on old laptops. Come across old laptops all the time. 5 or 6 year old laptop, maybe the battery doesn't work so well. That's pretty standard, right? It's a little worn out, but if you've got an i3 or an i5 in there and 4 and maybe even 8 gigs of RAM, that's plenty of horsepower to run Bunsenlabs Linux, and you can completely revive that laptop and have a pretty good experience overall. So again, I'm running it virtualized, but just want to throw that out there. That's a great distribution to revive old hardware. So again, here in the terminal, we can get out of htop. But again, just to show you, super responsive, super quick, really a big fan. So if we right click again, we'll go ahead and we'll open the web browser. And here we can see we've got Firefox by default. So one of the things I do want to do is go to DistroWatch and give them a click. Big fan of the folks at DistroWatch. They do a great job. And as you can see here on the home page, if we just scroll down, you can see the listing, right? The ranking of distributions based on downloads. One of the great things about DistroWatch, very consistent. I'm glad they haven't changed their site in a while. I hope they don't for a while. Some people might want a different look and feel. I'm a big fan of DistroWatch, so great job on what you guys are doing. And we can see over here in the rankings, right, all the different distributions. And let's see, I'm going to do Control F for find. And Bunsenlabs Linux is not even listed in the top 100. Kind of criminal, if you ask me. Great distribution, but certainly not the fault of DistroWatch. Apparently, it's not getting downloaded a ton, but hopefully we can change that, folks, because I'm a big fan. One thing we do want to do here is also give the Bunsenlabs folks a click. So we'll go ahead and just Google Bunsenlabs Linux, and we can see it's the first result that comes up. Very clean web page, really nice. Again, great job showing the distribution, all the different high points of it. Really cool. And we'll definitely say if you're a fan and you use this distribution, check out the website and donate to the folks here. A lot of developers donating their time, making Bunsenlabs a great distribution. And if you do use it and you do like it, I would encourage you to donate to these folks, as well as DistroWatch if you use that site. Just remember, everybody who works on open source is usually donating their time, and most of those folks don't get paid. So if you use open source software, I would encourage you to donate to whoever develops it, because those folks work really hard, and most of the time they're not getting paid. Buy them a cup of coffee, something like that, and I'm sure they would appreciate it. But again, really nice website. Again, clean, to the point, not very flashy. That's okay with me. One thing to note, check out their forums. Again, in the Linux communities, forums are your friend. Most of the time, most of the distributions I review have really good user communities, and I think that's a key for Linux distributions, right? Because most distributions are only going to be as good as the community that supports them. And I've interacted with the Bunsenlab forum, the community, nothing but positive things to say about that. So again, Firefox is your default browser. Works really nice. We'll open another tab, and we'll go ahead and give DistroWatch another click just for the heck of it. A couple tabs open, and if we go ahead and shrink this window a little, we can see over here we're using 1.31 gigs of memory. Now I'm kind of interested, after looking at HTOP earlier, just to see what HTOP is going to tell us. So we'll go ahead and run HTOP, and it's saying we're at 1.11 gigs. So a little disparity there, but that's okay. Again, two different readings. Take which one you like. I always like to go with the lower one, so we'll pretend it's only using up 1.11 gigs. But we'll get out of the terminal there. No need to keep that open right now. But again, Firefox by default, great browser, does everything you need it to do for a good web browsing experience. And if we take a look, we can also go ahead and see our file manager. So in here, we'll maximize this. Always like to go to About, and you can see Thunar version 4.16.8. Love that they put this little catch line in here. Fast and easy to use file manager for the XFCE desktop environment. So really cool. Big fan of Thunar as a file manager. And just for scope, if we go ahead and go into pictures, that's my intro slide that I created with GNU manipulation program. Great for editing any sort of images. And then within here, we can take a look if we want at all the included wallpapers. Kind of nice. Again, Thunar, great file manager. Big fan. So, and up here, again, you can traverse with the breadcrumbs. Take us right back here. You can click on computer. Check out documents. All the fun stuff in here. Really nothing in here outside of pictures. But we'll walk through it just for fun, and we can take a look at the file system as well. Again, using about 20% of the disk, tons of space free. Again, when I virtualize, I only spin up a 32 gig disk for the machine, because most of the time I do my review, I may leave it on Proxmox for a month or two, and then I'll actually just delete the VM. So no need to use a ton of disk space when you're spinning up distros to review. So we'll go ahead and close that. And again, if we want, by default, take a look. They include Genie as the text editor. big fan of that. Genie's probably my favorite text editor out there, and I absolutely love that Bunsen Labs includes it as the default text editor. If you work with YAML files, color coding is built in Genie, so really, really nice. If you work with Ansible, Terraform, any sort of automation, it's always nice to have that color coding when you're going in and doing work on automation scripts, whether it be YAML, Python, anything like that. The color coding is a huge plus. And again, just for prosperity's sake, go to About, and we can see it's version 1.37.1. So, kind of credit, cool. These folks, I don't think, probably get too much recognition. So, everybody you see on here, if you use Genie, you can even email them, telling them how much you like it. I'm a big fan to all the developers. Thank you for making Genie and making it a great program. Really appreciate y'all. With that, we'll close out of here. And also on the menu, we'll go to the default media player, which I know is VLC. Again, great media player, can pretty much play anything under the sun. So if VLC can't play it, I don't know that any other media player could play it. So do the same thing here. About, there you go, 3.0.20, really cool. Check out the authors. Say thanks to all of them. This is definitely one of the better media players out there. I don't know if there's a media player that I would rank higher than VLC, so thanks to everybody who's donated their time. Again, if you use it, you really like it, donate to those folks. Buy them a cup of coffee. I'm sure they would appreciate it. Maybe they don't like coffee, but, buy them a hot beverage. And then down here, we've got some other options. We can look at the utilities that we have. We can go to Places, Recent Files. Kind of nice under Preferences. One thing I will note, if you're unfamiliar, Display. So if you ever have to change your resolution, you'll go right here. And you can see under Outputs, we're virtual, currently at 1920 by 1080. But if you had to change it, here's where you do it. Not going to make any changes there. Just wanted to show everybody where that's at, just in case. I know when I virtualize, initially, it's the resolution's not perfect, so you got to go in and edit it. So in case anybody else does that, maybe save you a couple clicks. Again, various tools in here. Conky, which is really nice. You can go ahead and edit Conky if you want. The default one is great. I may do a video on customizing Bunsenlabs Linux Beryllium and go into maybe editing Conky and a few other things and share that with everyone. Not sure if I'm going to do that, but probably will because really enjoy Bunsenlabs and want to tweak this a little bit. Again, Tint 2, all your options here. Again, we can look at appearance. We can look at our fonts, wallpapers, power management. Not really much use to me because I'm not on a laptop and just leaving this running for my distribution review. But all your options in here. Again, we can look at system. Again, all your options that you see. If we do quick system info right here, kind of nice. It tells us all the details about our system. So our CPU, graphics, everything you need to know right here. And again, here we go. We see our distro, which is great. Definitely a big fan. Based on Debian, rock solid, very stable. So pretty awesome. And again, just to show you the rest of the stuff here, under System, got gparted, so a couple other tools. You got Help and Resources, your keybinds. Again, if you want to look at all your applications, you can see under Accessories, there's a ton of stuff. Right, we'll open up gcalc, because who doesn't like using a calculator? Yes, we can do the math in our head, but boy, calculators are great at it. So with that again, go down here. Development, a couple things. There you see Genie, graphics, multimedia, internet. Again, love that they include FileZilla. If you're a developer and you got to do any SFTP transfers, that's a great program to do it with. Again, hex chat's on here, transmission, Office, so LibreOffice, Calc and Writer. We'll go ahead and open that up. Initially, first time you open it up might take a little bit. Actually, was really snappy, not surprised. Credit to those Bunsenlab devs who do a great job with the distribution. Again, I'll always let the tips play. I don't know all there is to know about LibreOffice, so any tip I can gain is to the positive. So we'll say OK here. And we'll make some space, and then I'm going to right-click, go to Applications, Office, and I'll open LibreOffice Calc. and again, lightning fast, right? So first time you open it, might be a little bit of lag. We didn't really see it on that first one with Writer. We opened Calc. As soon as we hit it, it opened right away. Very, very snappy. Again, credit to the developers for the Bunsenlabs Linux team. Big fan. So we'll close that out. And again, under applications, then we've got settings. Again, lots of different options here, as you can see. Tons of stuff to get into. System-wise, again, here are all your options. There's HTOP, so I was wondering if it was installed. If I looked under System, I would have found it. And again, there's Thunar, so Xterm emulator. Again, great distribution. We could lock the screen from here. We could exit out. Overall, just super impressed. Really, really like Bunsenlabs Linux Beryllium. Great distribution, aesthetically pleasing, very snappy, perfect for reviving old hardware or for your daily driver. So nothing but positive things to say about this distribution. Again, I know I'm a little bit biased, but I can't help it. Big fan. I've been reviving so many old computers with this distribution over the years. I'm looking at a stack of like 4 laptops next to me right now that all have Bunsen Labs on them. Some of them are 10, 11-year-old laptops, but still usable, right? And that's the cool thing. Never have to throw tech away. If you do have to get rid of tech, please do responsibly recycle it. Should be recycling centers in your area. If not, hey, send me a message. I'll help you find one, because the last thing we want to do is just toss it out. And always a big fan of repurposing computers. So it's one thing I have a big passion for is get old computers, try to fix them up, install Linux on them, give them away, let people run them, and have a good experience running Linux. And brings a lot of joy to my heart. So big fan of doing that. We'll encourage anybody else who's a fan of hardware. It's a great time to go find old hardware, get it cleaned up, clean it out internally, install Linux, and give that to somebody who may not have a computer and let them experience the joy of running Linux, as well as hopefully customizing it. Maybe you break it and got to do some work to figure out how to fix it. But it's a great experience. Linux is, in my opinion, a very hands-on thing. You got to stand it up, break it down, mess it up, wipe it out, reinstall, all good things. So with that, I will stop ranting about my love for old hardware and Linux, but I will not stop talking about how great Bunsenlabs Linux is. So again, big fan of this distribution. Really appreciate you guys watching this video. If you're inclined, would love the like, would love a subscribe, but certainly don't need to. Also, would love some feedback, right? So if you'd like to see different things in my Linux distribution reviews, send me a message. Would love to hear what you guys would like to see. So thanks for watching, and see you all soon.